in the shuttle, getting ready to go back out there and suffer. Heading off, I guess, into some weather. Oh, I'm so nervous. I think I have an electrolyte imbalance, and it's kind of cold and breezy. It looks like rain clouds, really bad rain clouds. Oh no. Well, it's raining. Just so far has been so much more mellow than the last section. There's a bee there. There's a bee there. This one has 2 bees. What funny flowers these are. There's 1 bee. Come on. There it is. I came from over there. I think that's the reservoir for Lima. I don't know, maybe not. I still got some climbing to do. Look at all the puffballs. There's one there. There's a couple of there. There's one there. There's one coming up right there. 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 It's a feast, but I don't have any butter. This is a really creepy place. It's a tree graveyard with a meadow. It's probably not safe to be here. There's been thunder. This really reminds me of the PCT, of my hike of the PCT. When it switched from July to August, it was instantaneous. The end of summer and walking in clouds and cold and rain. And that seems to be the case now. It's August 2nd and my last day of hiking was July 31st. It was scorching hot. It was unbearably hot. And now I'm walking in a rain cloud. I hope that that this is just temporary and that we still get some summer. This is pretty funny. I guess somebody crashed their ATV and just abandoned it. And now it's been decorated. This hill is really hard to walk down. I can't imagine that you could drive that thing. It's too wide. Well, I'll probably regret not camping here, but it's 6 o'clock. I'm gonna go a little bit further and see what it's like. Well, I do regret not taking that campsite. All these trees have thick brush under them and it's soaking wet. My shoes are completely drenched as if I had just crossed a creek. Oh well, hopefully I'll find something. It's a tight squeeze, but it was a dry spot underneath with very little plants, so I guess I'm gonna have wet feet tomorrow because I don't think they're gonna dry out my socks or my shoes. So my shoes and socks were still wet in the morning and these plants are still wet. So it's gonna be a wet feet day. I wonder if that's smoke or clouds down in the valley. I'm swimming through cold, wet bushes. This is amazing though. Look at these flowers. And fireweed. Oh, I hear a creek. There's a herd of sheep down there. And there's a nasty sheepdog. So I got rocks and I got my sticks. And if the sheepdog tries to get near me, I'm gonna pelt him with the rocks. Oh, look, there's two sheepdogs. They're over there. Well, it looks like the dogs have moved the sheep off the trail. A northbounder said that they were on the trail and he had to go around them because of the sheepdogs. So I guess I can throw out my rocks. There's one sheepdog. There's another sheepdog. Oops, I'm not pointed at him. Okay, time to go. Kinder trail, drier trail. I'm glad those weeds are over with. It's a very green lake. There's actually some ducks out there swimming through the green stuff. The trail's kind of wide here. I wonder if I'm close to a popular area. And also, I've walked by a lot of berry bushes that don't have ripe berries yet, but have unripe berries. And it smells a lot like Oregon in late July. So I guess I'm getting somewhere. Well, the picnic table that I saw was near a parking area for Aldous Lake trailhead, and I am now back on the the CDT. You can tell the difference. So many grasshoppers. Well, this is my last water for 15 miles, or 17 miles. And of course, it's the hottest part of the day is starting. And I bet you the trail goes uphill. I've not been looking at the elevation profile because it psychs me out too much. I'm gonna take a break here, try to dry my feet a little bit and eat some pudding. It's been a wet feet day. Well, I looked at the elevation, and yes, it's all a solid climb for the rest of the day and probably part of tomorrow. So I'm gonna try to go 9 more miles, and that'll get me something like 22 for the day. I've got 4.7 liters. Oh, and it's 1 o'clock. And the hills are starting already. So, wish me luck. It took me, 7 hours to go 13 miles. So, if I can go 9 or 10 in 6 or 7, that'll be an improvement. So they're parked on the trail. I missed the junction. I went a little too far. I started going downhill. I knew that was wrong. So a Nobo warned me that he came to a section where there was no trail. And now I'm in that section. I don't know. I don't see any sign of a trail. And it looks like it goes, like if I follow the red line, it goes down, then it comes up. So I'm just trying to cut straight across and get to the blue water source icon on the red line that is dry. So hopefully this works and I don't get stuck somehow. Well, I appear to be going back to the trail marker that I thought was misplaced. This trail is crazy sometimes. But yeah, I was up there, the trail disappeared. So I went down the other side of those trees to that little bit of willows that the map says, or the app says is the water source is dry. And so now I'm trying to find this post marker that's not on the red line. And I think it's the one I walked to and then realized I wasn't on the red line. So I just did, I don't know, like 40 minutes of nonsense for no reason. This is why my pace is so slow. The hills are so steep. Everything's so hard to walk on. You get lost all the time. I found it. Another marker. The one that's in the middle of nowhere. Not on the trail. But there is a trail. Somebody should put a note. I'll put a note for these Sobos. So my Faro app refuses to place me on the map, has me 41 miles away from here. So I hope that it solves itself soon and that I can keep myself placed. Right now, I'm just hoping I can see footprints and trail markers. It surprised me that the trail decided to be a flat dirt road, but there are footprints and I did see a trail marker. So I guess this is right. Well, I'm on the road again. It's about 6, I think. Trail's kind of pretty right here. Yesterday seems to have beat me up. The slightest little hills are really hard. Today's supposed to be a little more gentle, but there's still been some pretty steep climbs. Look what I found on the other side. So I've been descending for a while and crisscrossing Hell Roaring Creek. And now the trail looks like it's getting wider. So we must be descending to a popular trailhead, which means, once again, after lunch, there's a long water carry and probably a gigantic hill. I haven't looked ahead to see if there is, because I don't want to psych myself out, but it always ends up that way. This looks really sketchy. Look how close we came to the flatlands. Well, it's 11 miles to the next water, which would be 18 miles into my day. And the trail is pretty kind today, level. Kind of goes up and down a little bit, but kind of dragging because yesterday was so long. So I'm pretty sure I'll make the 18 miles and I'll get a whole bunch of water, because then after that it looks pretty dry. So get a whole bunch of water, find a place to camp, keep it under 24, I think, and then somehow figure out what the next water is after that. So I got about 2.5 miles to a creek, but it looks like it's all uphill. It's really hot, really tired. I don't feel good. So if I die and you find my phone, that's what happened to me. I see Wanderer over there. I think that's the spring. It's at 45-degree incline, so I'm not camping, but I'm hoping. Oh, it's gonna be a terrible night's sleep. I went 25.5 miles and I felt like crap the last, I don't know, 7 miles or so. I think I'm gonna have to quit. This trail is just too hard for me. But hopefully I can sleep in this contraption and that it'll keep me dry when the thunderstorm hits. I don't know if you can see the zigzag there. That's the CDT going up, starting the climb to Targhee Pass. And I'm bailing out down Mile Creek. I'm gonna hitch into Yellowstone. Just don't feel good. This trail has been so hot, and I just feel like my body is out of whack, waking up to headaches and not being able to sleep and having to pee constantly. And I'm gonna try to hitch to West Yellowstone and just rest up, and either I'll quit or I'll continue. I don't know. I have to think about it. So yesterday it was like 90, and today it looks like it's gonna rain. It looks like it's raining over there. Every day is different. Now my decision is which side of the road should I stand on. I'm about equidistant for two different routes to West Yellowstone. One looks maybe a little shorter and more direct, but the other one goes to a lake and possibly have more tourists. Although who knows, I think maybe locals might be more willing to give me a ride. So I'm gonna try standing on the southbound, or is it northbound? I don't know. Start this away side of the road, see how that works. A lot of fancy little ranchettes here. Thank God I don't have to stand in the sun. Here comes somebody. Well, I'm not having much luck with getting a ride, so I'm walking back towards the trailhead parking because it's a little closer to a highway junction that goes to West Yellowstone, and maybe if I stand there it'll look more obvious that I came off the trail. So I'm in West Yellowstone now, and I'm looking for a place to stay. I see some hikers over there,